Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Thursday. It's time for whiskey, cigars, and comics. I'm drinking a nice concoction of a little bit of Coke mixed with um, Buffalo Trace bourbon. Buffalo Trace has a little bit of a little needs to be cut a little bit. It's a little. I wouldn't say it's smooth. It ends up drinking smooth, but it's a little bite at the beginning, but then finishes nice and smooth. So it pairs well with a nice cigar, and I have my typical acids that I order. I'd order a box of these. Usually last me a good 2 or 3 months. Usually no problem. Don't smoke every day. Probably smoke at least maybe twice a week on average. All right. So who we got in the chat here? We got Chaos and Comics. When I smoke cigars, it helps me to drink less whiskey. That's actually true. It pairs well together. I agree with that. Helps me drink a little less too. Grandmaster Stash says, when I used to smoke stogies, I drank more. I could probably work both ways, right? I probably drink more too, because if I wanted a cigar, I'd also be like, well, I got to have a drink with my cigar. I can't like just have a cigar by itself. So I definitely see it that way as well. It could make you drink more too. And Chaos says, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I smoke. I'm trying to regulate my drinking. All right, Mad Mike's Comics is in the house. What's up, my friend? JB, he's always there. Zach B, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, it's Thursday night. Yeah, kind of nothing too eventful this week. Work's been pretty steady. Tomorrow I am taking off in the afternoon to go golfing with a buddy of mine. I haven't seen him in a while. It's probably been several months. In the summer, I usually golf more with him. But yeah, we've both been so busy. I was trying to go golfing with him before the holidays last year, and we just couldn't get our schedules to work out. So tomorrow I'm going to go attempt to hit the little white ball. I haven't played in a while, so it's probably going to be pretty rough. So golf is one of those games where really the only way to get measurably better is you got to play a lot, or you got to get professional lessons, because invariably there's something mechanically wrong with your swing, and you're normally not able to see it, right? So that's why you want to go to a professional, a teaching pro that can usually on me, they can quickly see what I'm doing wrong, and I kind of know what my faults are. I'm too fast. I don't have good tempo. I golf a lot better when I when I get rid of the mentality of swinging faster makes the ball go farther. In golf, that's rarely the case. I've hit some of my best shots just swinging nice and smooth. So, yeah, it's a tough sport, no doubt about it. And I've been playing it since I was, not professionally or anything. My dad took me for a lesson when I was probably 15 years old, 15, 16. So I've been playing it off and on since that age. Obviously, when I was in my 20s, I could probably hit the ball farther, but I can still hit the ball decent. I got leverage. I can usually. And then, if I'm putting well, I score well. Putting is everything, man. Sometimes if you can putt really good, you can make up for a lot of other mistakes. All right, we got Z Collects in the house. What's up, Z? By the way, Z, I'm going to be maybe hooking up with Metaphorical. We didn't get a chance to do that this week, but I'm going to try to get back on the schedule with him at least one night a week. We're going to try to get together and get on that show, either at his channel or mine. So I'll keep you on the loop on that, guys. Manny's like, yeah, that's a tough sport. Obviously, maybe he's tried it. Hey, what's up, Comic Kid 84? What's going on, my friend? So there's not a lot to talk about. I went and looked at CBR today. I looked at Bleeding Cool. There's a little bit of news this week, but nothing earth-shattering. Obviously, I did talk about it the other day on my New Comic Book Wednesday show. The trailer dropped for Morbius, and acting will be good on it. I think, what's the actor that plays Morbius? Ah, crap. I'm drawing a blank. Somebody will pop it in the chat, I'm sure. But he's a good actor. I mean, I know I think he's won an Academy Award before. Dang it, how come I can't think of his name? You know what? I liked him in, what was that movie? Fight Club. He was in that movie. That's one of my favorite movies, Fight Club. I did not like him as the Joker in Suicide Squad. I just didn't. I wouldn't really blame him. I think he was just Jared Leto. Yes, thank you. Manny puts Jerry Leto. Jared Leto. Yep. He's also the lead singer of that band 30 Seconds to Mars, I think, right? I think he's the lead singer of that band. So he's a talented individual. He's a Renaissance man, actor, lead singer of a band. You know, he's definitely got some talent. And the movie trailer looks pretty good. I mean, he looks like he's going to have a good acting role. He's obviously, I don't know if it's CGI. I guess we'll find out, maybe more details. But, man, he looks really, really thin, like super thin, like he did when he did that. I know he lost a bunch of weight in that movie, The Dallas Buyers Club. I think didn't he win the Academy Award for Best Support? I think that was the role that he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Was the Dallas Buyers Club, and he was really thin in that, super thin. And then they show him that clip of him, and he's all jacked. I mean, he's definitely got quite a bit of muscle on him. So I don't know that these days, though, that could be CGI. I mean, it could be him. You know, I think he's kind of a method actor, right? Some of these method actors will go crazy up and down in weight. Who's the example? Christian Bale, right? Christian Bale does that. I mean, he'll go down like 100. That movie, The Machinist. If you guys ever seen a crazy movie, that's a crazy movie. He lost a ton of weight for that movie. I think he looked like he was like 100 pounds in that movie, soaking wet. And then, of course, he gained a lot of weight for that movie Vice, right, where he plays Dick Cheney. I mean, he was probably, I mean, that was really him. It wasn't CGI. He gained a bunch of weight. It's probably not too healthy to do that to you, though. Go up and down so drastically in weight. But I think the movie's going to be good. I mean, I like the looks of it so far. I think it could be a definite winner. So there is books that you can pick up. I showed this the other day. I picked up a nice copy of ASM 101. This is the second print, not the first print. First print's a little expensive. Time to have bought that was probably 2 or 3 years. They were going to produce this movie at some point. So, you know, this book has been high. The first print has been high for a long time. So this is a good alternative. You know, this book still doesn't go for near as much money, but I noticed it has been going up in value this week. I picked this up last weekend for $30 shipped, and I got lucky. This one's in a really, really high grade. And this is a 9.8 candidate, no doubt about it. So right now, you can find this in high grade on eBay right now. This is going to be $50 to $60. So it has definitely moved up in price. But yeah, I think this is a good book to have in your collection. This is the more affordable option. I'm just not going to go spend $1,000 or $1,200 for a high grade copy of the first print. So yeah, second print looks good. It's absolute replica of the original. It's got a nice silver cover. I actually like the cover on this with the silver behind it. It just makes it jump out even more. So I like that. So there's a Morbius book. There's another one I have here to show. I picked this up. This is a recent. This just came out last month. Morbius the Living Vampire, the second issue. And this is the variant cover by E.M. Gist, I think his name is the artist. I really like this cover. Just a cool looking cover. Awesome image. It was a 1 in 25 variant, so yeah, I think I paid $25 or $30 for this. I don't think it's gone up in value much. It's probably around the same, but I don't know. Some of these Morbius books, you could see more movement on them. I really like this cover, so that's the reason I picked it up. And the story so far has been pretty good on it. And then I think that's the regular cover, right? Which is a nice, beautiful Ryan Brown cover. I mean, this is good. He's an awesome artist. Just love Ryan Brown's artwork. So yeah. So Morbius is on the move. Who else we got here in the house? We got comics with Bueller. What's up, Bueller? We got Wolf Warner in the house. All right. There's always a party when Wolf Warner is involved. Chaos and Comics says, yeah, I wouldn't spend that either. I think he's referring to ASM 101. Now that the trailer's dropped, right, the prices are probably the highest they're going to be for a while. I mean, it could go a little higher. The movie does really well. It's, critically acclaimed or things like that. It could obviously go higher. Comics with Bueller says, I didn't know there was a second print. Bueller, you didn't know that? Come on. I don't believe that for a second. You know everything about comic books. Yeah, there's a second print. Have they done a facsimile on that yet? I don't know. I'm sure Marvel, you would think that they would do a facsimile edition on that. They've been doing facsimiles on everything. Yeah, well, Incredible Hulk, I did a facsimile on that because that's probably an issue I could never afford. I mean, I don't think I could afford a low-grade copy. Like a 0.2 would still, like a 0.1 or 1.0 would still be some big money for that. So Immortal Hulk facsimile, that came out a few months ago, or about a month or two ago. So I like these facsimiles because, yeah, they're reprints, but it's a good way to own a copy of it. Have the original ads in it. It kind of makes you feel like you own the original, even though you don't. So I'm a big fan of the facsimiles, especially on books that I really don't see myself ever really owning just because of how expensive they are. Craig69, what's up, my friend? What's going on? I like your image there. The Joker. So the Joker, Joaquin won Best Actor for the Golden Globes. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's going to win the Academy Award. If he doesn't, there'll be a freaking protest. He better win for Best Actor. I'm sure he will. It's pretty much a given at this point. But the Joker movie, yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, it's dark. It's not a movie you walk away feeling great about, right? I mean, it's just the story of the descent of someone that goes crazy. But it was a great movie, well acted. Joaquin Phoenix is definitely one of our best actors of our generation, no doubt about it. Definitely deserves to win the awards on that movie. See here, Comics Bueller. I know very little. You know a lot, my friend. Don't sell yourself short. Marvel Tales 253 has a Morbius cover done by Mobius. Nice. I'll have to check that out. take a look at that. I didn't know about that. Yeah, there's all kinds of things I don't know about either. It's hard to keep track of everything these days. There's so much stuff being produced. Wolf Warner's going to be dropping a haul vid in a few. Awesome. Everybody go check out his channel. Wolf Warner has a great channel. He's got great energy. I love listening to him go on and on. He's awesome. He's one of the guys I make sure I catch whenever he drops a video. I get notified. I make sure I watch it. And it looks like he picked up 3 facsimiles of Hulk 180. Yep, that's a good deal. I got that also on my pre-orders. Should be getting that this week, I think, in the mail. I think there we go. It's a little delay here. Sin Potter sketch cover. Nice. All right, Chaos and Comics says Adam Driver was really good in Marriage Story. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've seen it advertised on Netflix. I haven't had a chance. My wife said she wanted to watch it with me one day. I'll have to, maybe this weekend I'll have some time, and I'll try to catch that. But I like Adam Driver. I think he's a good actor, no doubt about it. And I think he's a very humble guy. He was in the military just a few years ago, so he's exploded in popularity. I think it's great. I mean, I think he's one of the best things to happen to those Star Wars movies. I think he's definitely the standout actor. I didn't care for some of the story, especially Last Jedi. I thought was terrible. But Adam Driver, I think he's a great actor. So I'm glad he's doing well. All right. Z collects. Yeah, get back to work, Z. Get back to work, man. All right. I'll show off a few more books. I've shown a couple of these before in previous videos, so this might be a little bit of a repeat. But I'll show off a couple things that look cool. I got this from my good friend Marcus, and I just love this cover. The more I look at it, the more I like it. This is that Vampirilla acetate cover. Just a cool looking cover. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with an acetate cover. I'll show you what happens here. So the acetate is basically, it's got like a film cover. When you open it up, boom, there's the original. So basically you got a nice virgin cover behind the acetate. And then when you put it down, man, that's awesome, isn't it? That is so cool. And it does the same thing for the back too. You've got a nice acetate cover on the back. Just really, really cool. So I love this cover. It's one of my favorite covers so far. I don't know. I guess this is not 2020 though. This came out in 2019, so I can't say it's one of my favorite covers of the year since I believe it came out in December of last year. But it's definitely one of my favorite covers here recently. Art Germ cover, beautiful. I just love that cover. All right. Chaos and Comics. Chaos and Comics, male prostitute. What was that, an SNL skit? Wasn't that with I can't remember the it was shit. One of the Blues Brothers. What's his name? Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd would be. What was his line? Was something like something Garvey, male prostitute, or something like that. It was funny. It made me think of that. Grandmaster Stash. Hey, we got some fans of Adam Driver. He even sang in Marriage Story. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that movie out. I know my wife she wanted to watch that, so I'll win some points by watching that with her. And I'm sure it'll be good too. All right, another book that I got here recently that I've probably shown, but I'll show it again, is Niobe #1. What is this? She is Death. I'm telling you, these these Stranger Comics. So that's made by Stranger Comics. So there's a trade dress version of it as well. So this is the Shannon Mayer variant. He did a nice cover for that. And man, when you look at the inside of these Stranger Comics, holy crap! You talk about quality. First of all, you get a nice paper, right? Nice thick cardstock type paper. And then the inside paper is just as nice. It's beautiful, beautiful, dark, rich colors. I mean, God, these Stranger Comics. I mean, they have a website. You can buy them directly from their website, or you can buy them online. You know, they're available through pre-orders. You know, just awesome artwork. I mean, it's quality of the paper, the artwork is fabulous. So, yeah, Niobe, She Is Death. So that is the follow-up to Niobe, She Is Life. There was a She Is Life, now there's a She Is Death. So yeah, it's a Shannon Mayer, obviously one of the hottest cover artists that came out last year, and continues to pump out some nice work, no doubt about it. Yeah, Chaos Comics is is it Fred Garvin, male prostitute? Okay, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think Fred something, right? Sounds right. Fred Garvin, male prostitute. I'm sure you're right about that, Chaos. Yeah, it's definitely, I love a lot of those SNL 1970 skits. I loved all the Belushi ones with him with the samurai sword, chopping up stuff with a samurai sword. Those were always classic. All right, another one that I got in the mail here recently. This is a cool looking cover, especially if you're a Neil Adams fan. You'll appreciate this. This is the first appearance of the Illuminati, which I don't know if the Illuminati will show up in a movie at some point. You know, I think there is some speculation on that. I think it's a low chance of that happening, but it still is a minor key. I wouldn't say it's a major key. It's not. Illuminati is just it's a group of powerful superheroes that got together, like Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Namor. Who else was in that? Charles Xavier. I'm probably missing somebody else. I know there was like 6 or 7 of them. But this is the New Avengers number 7. This is the variant. It was like a 1 in 10 variant done by Neil Adams. And it's just kind of a classic throwback cover. I just love it. You got the word bubbles. You got the Sentry on the cover. Just a really good book to have in your collection. And I got this pretty cheap. I think I paid, maybe with shipping, it was like $15, $12 or $15. It wasn't much. And I think you could see this book get a little bit more heat to it at some point. And it's nice to have a nice Neil Adams cover too. So a little bit more rare than the regular cover. So be on the lookout for that one, especially if you're in a comic book shop. Who knows? Maybe you'll find that in a back issue bin. I mean, it's definitely something that you could find fairly cheap. A lot of people are not aware of that book, so it's still a little early yet. Last weekend, I put up a bunch of lights out here in my patio. So when I do these, if I do one of these later at night, I'll have a little bit more light out here, which will be nice. I hung these really nice. I'll see if I can angle my computer. You can kind of see. Yeah, you can kind of see them right there. So I strung these lights up. They look really cool, especially at night. I obviously I can tell it looks cool because the neighbors that walk around here stop and look at it. So it must look nice. I don't know. All right, another book I got in the mail here recently that I think looks cool. I like the cover, and I think it was only like $15. It wasn't $15 or $20. It wasn't too expensive. But it's one of these store variants, so yeah, I know that most of these store variants don't really go up in value too much. But I just liked it. I thought it was a cool looking cover. Suicide Squad #1, the Wu Chu Lee cover. variant. I like his artwork. I think he's a great artist. Just has a great style to his artwork. And it's number 996 out of 1,000, so it's somewhat limited. It's got a nice little COA with it, but just a nice looking, cool looking cover. So it wasn't too expensive, so I bought it. Tried to buy too many of those store variants, but. And another book I got here recently, which I think it looks really cool. I just put this in a Mylar, so it looks really nice. Is a book by IDW Publishing. It just came out a few weeks ago. Wellington #1. I just really like this black and white cover. Just so much detail in that thing. It kind of reminds me of like what Barry Windsor Smith. You know, just a lot of detail in that cover, black and white. Just a cool looking cover. It's a 1 in 25 cover, so it's, you know, this was not cheap. It was like $25 for this, but I just liked it. I mean, I just love the cover. I haven't even read the story yet. I have no idea if the story's any good. I just think the cover looks awesome. It's kind of a unique cover, so I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of time involved in producing that cover, so I just felt like I had to buy that. So there you go. Wellington #1. That's the 1 in 20. I think that's a 1 in 25 variant. All right. I'm kind of leaving the last two best for last, and then I'll go in and we'll look at a couple things on Bleeding Cool and CBR, see if there's any news out there that's worth taking a look at. This book is Erie #46. I got this from my good friend Marcus. I love this cover. This is a San Julian cover. San Julian, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but most of you know who he is if you've been in the comic book business for a little while. Just a cool looking cover. Dracula holding the damsel. Kind of risque little picture there. Just awesome. I mean, the colors are so vibrant, and this thing's in really high grade too. I mean, if this thing was graded, this would be 9.2 or higher probably, at least. It's just beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorite comic books. I love that cover. Man, I love these covers. Another one, this is the last one Marcus sent to me, which I can't believe he sent this to me. I was looking to buy this on eBay, and I could not find a copy. Most of them are dinged to hell up. It's a black cover. Just tons of spine ticks on them. It's hard to find one without spine ticks or creases. But man, this book, I mean, look at this book. Vampirilla #7. Beautiful cover. It's the Catgirl cover by Frazetta. Beautiful Frazetta artwork. And look at the condition of this book, man. I mean, no spine ticks. No spine ticks on a black cover. Whew. I mean, I think the only thing is there may be a little bit of wear in the one corner. All the other corners are perfectly sharp. I mean, this thing, little bit of a little denting on this one corner, but man, this book's in really, this is the highest grade copy I've seen, other than I think there was a CGC graded copy that they were asking a lot of money for. That was like a 9.0 or maybe a 9.4, something like that. But man, this Vampirilla, I love that cover. And that thing is in high grade. I can't believe Marcus sent this to me. He's a madman. I tell you, he's a madman. Love it. So that's one of my favorite. I mean, that's my favorite comic book that I've gotten so far in 2020. That's an AOK from a subscriber. I love it. That is one of my favorite books. So I love Frazetta's artwork. I'm a big fan of Frazetta. I mean, I think it's a shame that he's passed away. I think about all the stuff he could still be drawing today if he was alive, right? Can you imagine? Holy crap. That's why I really appreciate artists like Federici and EM Gist, and a lot of these artists that are kind of like picking up the mantle of Frazetta, right? They've got that style. They're awesome artists. They paint fantastic artwork, and the fact that we get to buy it in comic book form is beautiful. I love it. It's one of the great things I love about this hobby is the appreciation of the artwork. It's fantastic. Agent J.R. Ewing. Yes, I feel very privileged that Marcus is my friend. There's no doubt about that. I've sent him some stuff too, but yeah, I think if you're doing an accounting, he's probably sent me way better stuff than I've sent him, for sure. But yeah, Marcus is a great man, no doubt about it. And I'm messaging back and forth with Marcus all the time, so we're constantly. He's a very passionate collector. He especially loves the 60s and 70s, a lot of the Bronze and Silver Age horror comics. He's almost an expert in that. Like if I have a question about 70s and 60s horror comics, I just ask Marcus because he pretty much knows. So that's his specialty, which is awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen real quick and jump into some news items. I'll go on CBR's website first and see if there's anything worth taking a look at. There could be a couple things that are worth taking a peek at. So it looks like Marvel is going to be coming out with a standalone title for Yelena Belova. So if you have her first appearance, which I believe was, damn, I highlighted that book not too long ago either. If I'm not mistaken, that wasn't a Black Widow comic book. I'm going to say it was an Avengers book. Now the curiosity is killing me. Let me look it up real quick. When in doubt, go to eBay and type in first appearance. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, yeah, that's right. Inhumans #5. Talk about an obscure book. Inhumans #5. Had Jay Lee cover. That was the first appearance of Yelena Belova, which that book is blown up for sure. So it looks like there's going to be a new Widowmakers, Red Guardian, and Yelena Belova. I'm happy about that because I've got a first appearance of Red Guardian. That's Avengers. I think that was Avengers #46. Bought that over a year ago for pretty cheap, and that thing is blown up. It's gone up triple what I paid for it easy, especially in the grade. I've got it in the nice 8.0, 8.5 range. So that book is definitely blown up in value. I did not get the first appearance of Yelena Belova. I did miss that one, but it's nice they're getting their own series, their own mini-series, so that'll add a little bit more strength to it. Yeah, so that'll come out, is that April? Yeah, April 2020 is the release date. So might be worth checking out. What else do we got here in the news? Guardians of the Galaxy. I know they're rebooting that with Al Ewing starting, I think next week it comes out, the first issue. I did pick up the Scan. I think Scan did the B cover. So I do have that coming in my order next week. There's the A cover right there. So Al Ewing will be the writer on that, and it looks like they're diving into a major cosmic threat. So following the events of Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw's iteration of the popular Cosmic Team, Al Ewing and Juan Cabal will helm the Guardians of the Galaxy series. The team is investigating an upcoming Kree Skrull invasion of Earth that began with recent incoming one-shot. So it is a tie-in to that incoming one-shot that came out a couple weeks ago. So that they do give you a little preview in the book. Is that Ego, the living planet? It looks like Ego. I don't know if that is or not. Looks like it is. I don't know. I'm picking up the first issue. We'll see if it's any good. Maybe that'll be a good series. Al Ewing is a good writer, so obviously he's well known for his Immortal Hulk run. So that could be a book worth making sure you pick up. All right, let's go back to the chat. Don't want to ignore the chat. Yep, Key Collector app. That's always a good thing. I do try to check it on a weekly basis. Some weeks I forget to do it, so that's probably a good idea. Always check the Key Collector app. Good old Nick. I need to do another stream with Nick on Jim's. We did that one video or stream with Nick and Jim's Comics. That was a lot of fun. Nick and I had some good banter going back and forth. He's a smart guy. He's a smart ass too, which I like. But he's a good man. I like him. He's got a good personality. All right. I know we've got that Strange Adventures book coming out. Tom King and Mitch Gerads. I think Tom King needs a win here, right? I think he suffered a little bit. A lot of people did not like his Batman run. I was included in that group. I did not think it was the best. And it would be nice to see if he can get back to form with Strange Adventures. Maybe he'll knock our socks off with that. I did pre-order the first issue to give it a try. Looks like issue number 2. It's hinting that a DC superhero will be Adam Strange co-star in the upcoming series. Looks like there's going to be 2 artists on that, Evan Shaner and Mitch Gerads. I don't know who's doing interior. I thought Mitch Gerads was doing the interior artwork, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe he's just doing covers. I'm not too sure. But that will be one that's, I think that's worth getting at least the first issue. Tom King, he's probably going to work pretty hard to get a comeback. His Heroes in Crisis was not well received. His Batman run, I mean, I think early on his Batman run wasn't too bad. And then, the whole fiasco with him trying to marry off Batman to Catwoman. He just screwed with the character too much of Batman. I think that pissed off a lot of people. Obviously, it pissed off enough people for DC to cut his run 15 issues before it was originally scheduled. So I hope he does well. I mean, I'd like to see him improve. Looks like both Mitch Gerads and Evan Doc Shaner are going to be doing artwork on the interior. So they're both doing covers, and then it looks like they're both sharing the artwork on the interiors of the book. So I'm going to pick up at least the first couple issues and give it a try. I'd like to see if it's good or not. If it's not good by issue 2, I'll probably drop it. So Tom King, you're on notice. You've got 2 issues to capture my attention, and then maybe I will I'll continue with it. We'll see. Everything Morbius, we talked about this earlier. A lot of people are interested in Morbius. You're probably going to see some good heat on some of those Marvel team-ups. I mean, I know he's got some second and third appearances outside of Amazing Spider-Man, so you could see some of those books on the move. Don't be surprised if you see some heat on that. I know he had his own series early back in the 90s. That also could see some movement. But yeah, I'm hoping that movie's going to be good. I mean, I think it looks good so far. I love that In-Hook Lee cover, by the way. I did not pick that up. I was kind of hoping that the prices come down on that a little bit, but man, they've been pretty firm on that Morbius #1, that In-Hook Lee. It's like a 1 in 50 variant. And if I go on eBay right now, I'm pretty sure that book's still going to be going for good money. Let's see here. I'm just curious. Yeah, there's not much for sale either. There's only 2 copies for sale. One guy's asking $90. Buy it now. And there's another guy asking basically $60. So that book is not. I was hoping to get it around 35 to 40, but I don't think that's going to happen. Still pretty firm at above ratio, right? So it's a cool cover. I like it. I like that M. Hook Lee cover. It's beautiful. All right, let me go back in the chat. I'm going to be winding down this stream here in a little bit. All right, there's Marcus. Talked about you a lot, Marcus, on this live stream, my friend. Your Squirrel Girl #1 is 5 cents above cover. There you go. There's probably a couple Squirrel Girl 1 in 50 variants that go for decent money. So there's somebody out there that will buy it. I don't think I ever bought a Squirrel Girl comic. I think I bought one of those variety packs once, and there was a Squirrel Girl comic thrown in there as a giveaway. So I think that's the only reason I own a Squirrel Girl comic. I was really close to pulling the trigger, though, on the last issue of Squirrel Girl, issue number 50. I don't know if it got canceled or they just decided to end it at issue 50. But there was a nice Raza cover on issue number 50, and I almost bought it. And then I decided, nah, I'm not going to do it. It's Squirrel Girl. Because I knew the writing on it was probably going to be terrible, even though it had a cool cover. But that's the closest I ever came to buying a Squirrel Girl comic book, was the Raza cover for number 50. Squirrel Girl, Agent Jerry Ewing. There you go. Hey, I don't mean to offend any Squirrel Girl fans out there. If you love Squirrel Girl, man, more power to you. Enjoy it. That's what comic books are for. All right. Anything else in the news? Morbius versus Blade. Yeah, I don't know. I think Morbius is probably more powerful than Blade, but I kind of hope, I don't know. I guess they're going to reboot that Blade series. I don't know about that. I have some heavy doubts if that will be good. I don't know. Wesley Snipes, man. I don't know if he's been humbled by what's happened to him. Didn't he spend like a year or 2 in jail because of tax evasion or not paying his taxes? So he probably needs the money really bad to make another Blade movie. I don't think he's done much, though. I don't think he's getting a lot of work, but all I know is I've read some stories from celebrities that worked with him, and they said he was the biggest freaking prick back in the day. Now, that was his past. Maybe he's a different man now. He's been humbled. He spent some time in jail. Maybe he's a different man. I don't know. But I've definitely heard a few stories about him being a big prick. So I don't know. Maybe he's different now. We'll see. But I'm a little sketchy as to whether that Blade reboot will be worth doing or not. I don't know. I think that may have had its day. We will see. All right. There's a little news on hulking. This is that guy that you thought was kind of a young Hulk, but he ended up finding out that he was a Kree. Is he a Kree or a Skrull? It says here that his parents, a Kree hero, Captain Marvel, and the Princess Enel of the Skrulls. So he's part Kree, part Skrull. I think his first appearance was in Young Avengers #1. That's a key book to have in your collection. But this could be a good book. I like the cover on that by DeCall. That's pretty cool. It's a cool looking cover. Empire, Avengers, Fantastic Four. So that comes out in April. That could be worth grabbing. I'd be kind of interested in that, getting a little bit more background on Hulkling, or whatever his name is, Hulkling, I think it is. Robbie Thompson's going to be the writer on that. Yeah, that might be worth checking out. I might grab that. We'll wait till the April solicitations comes out. But I like the cover on that. It looks cool. So that might be worth grabbing. Let's see here, guys. Let me see if there's anything else that looked interesting. I think that might be it. I don't think there was anything else that I thought that was really worth mentioning. I went on Bleeding Cool's site. I didn't see a lot on there either. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I talked enough. Let me go back to the chat real quick here. Marcus thinks Wesley Snipes should star as Squirrel Girl, the musical. Very nice. You check off all the boxes. You've got diversity hiring there, no problem. Dollar Bin Fodder, what's up, my friend? Doctor Strange #2 synopsis is out. I'll have to check that out. So we've got maybe some plot structure on Doctor Strange, the second movie. I'm looking forward to that. I know that there was it one of the writers left or something like that? I know there was somebody that left the production. I don't know. I think there was somebody that left. Oh, John Gerardo corrected me here. So they are going to reboot Blade, but it's not going to be Wesley Snipes. Yeah, so poor Wesley Snipes. Maybe he'll make an appearance and they'll pay him a couple $1 million. He needs the money. But they're going to do another actor. I wonder which actor they'll pick. Obviously, who's the top black actors out there? You got the two guys from Black Panther, right? You got Eldris Elba, whatever his name is. You got a couple guys, 3 or 4 guys there that you probably could pick from. They all look nice. They're all built well. I'm sure you could find one that would play the role well. Yeah, okay. Dollar Bin Fodder corrected me. The director left, not the writer. Okay. Malcolm Giles, what's up, my friend? What's going on? It's getting dark out here. Let me plug in my lights. Let me do that real quick. Get that going. All right, there we go. It's still dark out here, but you can see my lights on now, at least. Very nice. All right, what else we got here? Bill Cosby? Yeah, maybe. Okay. See, John, I need to have you on my show, man, because you know what the hell you're talking about. Mahershala Ali is going to be the actor playing Blade. Awesome. Zach B confirms. So there you go, guys. That's why I have you guys in the chat. You guys know what you're. Of course, anybody can just Google that real quick. You're saving me time from Googling. Malcolm Giles, you missed a whole hour. You did not receive my notification? Those bastards at YouTube. I've had people tell me that before. I don't know. YouTube is not exactly consistent. I scheduled it. I did the scheduling thing. It's supposed to send out notifications, but yeah, the mosquitoes. Yeah, I haven't felt any yet, but I shouldn't have mosquitoes in January in Florida, but you'd be surprised. I think like a week or so ago, I was getting nailed by them. John's like, yeah, it's Google. That's always a way to make yourself look knowledgeable. Just have very quick typing skills on Google. Dollar Bin Fodder says, hulking is confirmed on WandaVision. Just to jump on top. Very nice. Make sure you. So that's a key. That's probably a really good key book to have. Is that Young Avengers #1? You got a lot of first appearances in that issue. That whole team basically was a first appearance. You got Kate Bishop in that series. Casey Lang, right? There's a lot of really good stuff in that Young Avengers. Man, I'm glad I didn't sell. I have the whole set 1 through 12. Believe it or not, I had it on eBay for like $20 for a while, and luckily the listing expired, and I forgot I even owned it. And then when I saw it blew up on all these websites, I found that I still had it. So yeah, it's a good book. I would say that's a good key book to have. Is Young Avengers #1. Marcus agrees with me. Marquise Roberts picked up some great titles today. Very good, my friend. Very nice. Young Avengers #1, 2005. So that is the first Young Avengers team appearance. I'll have to look that up. All right. That could be worth checking out. J.R. Ewing saying, "Where are you getting that intel, man?" I don't know. I thought Young Avengers #1 was the first appearance of Young Avengers, but I could be wrong about that. I'll have to check my Key Collector app to verify. What covers am I picking up for Wonder Woman #750? So I am getting it a little cheaper than $10. I pre-ordered the Adam Hughes variant and Jim Lee. We're doing that cover. Then when I pre-ordered those, I didn't know. I don't think I had what the covers looked like yet. They hadn't released what the covers looked like. So I just figured Adam Hughes would probably do a pretty good job with Wonder Woman. He's done some really nice Wonder Woman covers in the past, and I figured Jim Lee would be pretty solid. So those were the two I picked up. I know you had a George Perez cover. You had a Brian Boland cover. I think there was an Oliver Copiel cover. Those are all good artists, but I think Wonder Woman, for me, Adam Hughes and Jim Lee, I don't think you can go wrong with those two artists. And yeah, I was happy I grabbed those two. So yeah, I should be getting those. Yeah, what, next week it comes out? I think it's next week. So Dollar Pin Fodder, man, he's on top of it. He says the unofficial link is the 2013 Young Avengers #1. They have a later issue, but Young Avengers #1, 2013 is the first time all the confirmed Young Avengers team work together as a team and are shown in full. There you go. Thank you, my friend. Always good to have people in the chat that know what the heck they're talking about. Craig69 picked up the Jason Scott Campbell set. Very nice. I'm not a big fan of Jason Scott Campbell, but I know a lot of people are. And you can't go wrong probably buying those covers because there's a lot of books that he's done the cover for that are worth money. So I don't argue with the success of it. Just not my favorite artist. I prefer Adam Hughes and Jim Lee over J. Scott Campbell, but he definitely has a big following, no doubt about it. Hey, man, some big predictions here. Ian Baldwin says Young Avengers #1 could be the giant-sized X-Men for this period. Yeah, that's a good prediction. That's definitely a book that I think is going to continue to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a $100 book. I think it goes for what? Near mint, raw, $40 to $50 pretty consistently. But I could see that being a $100 book. So if you're thinking about buying it, I think at $40 to $50, it's still a good buy. All right. If you're a gamer waiting for the Avengers in-game, the game is postponed. It's too bad. J.R. Ewing says all his characters look like his wife. He's referring to J. Scott Campbell. He's got a hot wife, huh? Nice. All right, guys. I've been on over an hour. That's enough. No one needs to hear me talk more than that. Jesus. Who needs to hear me talk more than an hour? 12 people in the chat. I appreciate everybody's comments. You guys are awesome. I'll be definitely doing another stream or video tomorrow. I'll be reviewing the comic book, the CBSI Hot 10 list. Probably get that out in the evening tomorrow. And then Saturday morning, most likely, I'll have the cover price top 20. I'll get that list out on Saturday morning. So look for great and comic books, my friend. I'll see you soon.